from All Hail Internal Combustion. Today we're working on a Dodge Dakota for a buddy of mine.
I feel sick. Can I go home now?
Not yet. We haven't even begun to dig into the... Anyway, we're finishing up a project that someone started, which, as you can imagine, could be
It ain't good.
emotional damage. But we have found a lot of messed up stuff going on. It looked like he tried to just throw the motor in and out quickly, which is possible, but you have to address the issues like motor mounts not being bolted up properly. You know, and I don't know anything about these trucks, but it just seems like there's something wrong with how the motor is attached inside the truck. Supposedly it's the same size motor. This is out of a Jeep, that's out of a Dodge. So it's the same size motor anyway, made by Chrysler. So we pulled the header out on the other side. It had a cracked flange, so it was never going to bolt up tight anyway. And I noticed that one of the motor mounts only has one bolt in it, where it bolts to the block. So I know that's wrong. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull the exhaust manifold out on this side, and we're going to assess what's going on with the motor mounts first, because, you know, obviously nothing else matters if the motor's not going to stay inside of the truck. You know, like fall out, or I don't know. It's a mess. So we'll get you some close-in pictures so you guys can see what's going on in here, but we're just trying to put this thing back on the road. He's going to use it as a farm truck, so we can just kind of button it together the best we can without spending a whole lot of money, but he is someone that appreciates things being done correctly, so he doesn't have to fix it later. So I think the last project we did for him, we lifted a Jeep for him, right? Bertha.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll dig into this thing, figure out what it needs, get it running. Hopefully the motor's in good shape. We are taking over the project from someone else, so Pop's already fixed the broken dipstick. That was as soon as we popped the hood, the dipsticks broke off in the tube.
Yeah, the dipstick was snapped off. A lot of the electrical plugs were undone. The AC fan wasn't in it. The mechanical fan wasn't in it. There's an overflow tank that looks like it's full of block sealant. So we're going to have to flush out this radiator too, because I got a feeling it's probably full of block sealant. And get a light on here. There's our crazy motor mount situation we got going on the passenger side, and we got about the same situation going on the driver's side, where bolts aren't in, bolts aren't where they're supposed to be, there's no nuts on anything. So
I did think the motor was sitting in here a little strange when we first popped the hood. Now, I've never worked on these trucks in depth. You know, I've done small things and probably never with this specific motor, and if I have, I didn't realize what motor it was. But it just looks like it's angled a lot, but maybe that's how they are. I don't know.
we'll find out.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Let's turn to this thing. All right, so started working on this motor mount. I got the exhaust manifold out of there. Good thing we're took those back off to clean those head surfaces. Anyway, so you can see the motor mount bolt is loose. Okay, those look tight down there. But I noticed that this mount, you can see, is not perfectly perpendicular. Like the back of the motor needs to go down a little bit. So I thought, well, there's some Scooby-Doo bolts there that are holding the motor to the transmission. What's the chances that for some reason he shimmed the transmission or something? But I figured, let me go ahead and get a jack under here and see what I can do under here. And as soon as I slide under, what do I find? Oh, that transmission mount ain't even where it's supposed to be. That's okay. So we got our jack under here. We're gonna drop that. Hey Pops, could you run the jack? I'm gonna jack up on the back of the transfer case and try to shift everything forwards or around so that those 4 bolts as you can see on the pattern at the bottom, everything needs to move over to the passenger side. Alright, so go ahead and jag it up. We're going to go right underneath the transfer case because it gets us out behind the weight. It'll be the best reaction to get the front end of the motor to drop. Or come up, rather. Or a little off center. There you go. Oh, look at that. Hopefully that was on camera because the mount popped a little bit. Now, I still don't think it's lined up where... Oh, okay, there's the holes. Yeah, that's super weird. As you can see, or maybe not because we're so close. There they are, but no bolts. So, go up a little bit more, Pops. Oh, hold up. I think we're hitting that cab now. How close? Man, it's like the whole motor
Needs to go forward. By how far?
by that oil pan's not going to let it go any further forward. Oil pan's hitting the differential.
It's got the wrong oil pan on it since this is a motor out of a freaking Jeep.
Rookie mistake.
I would have done it too because I don't like Dodge.
You always check the oil pans. That's where they have the most wiggle room with all vehicles. Well, let's get you in closer here. I don't think this is ever going to be alleviated, but yeah, they're touching. The motor needs to move forward more. So I would guess that the truck oil pan has a divot for this. Sorry, a divot for this. I mean, there's literally no room in there.
Well, we just cut a notch in the differential.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
I think then we're not risking the the integrity of the motor.
That's right. That's the important part. And just tell him he got a two-wheel drive truck back.
And look, more missing motor mount bolts.
I think I know why he walked away now.
He, at that moment, realized that he beeped up.
Yeah, I guess we need to figure out from the owner if that old engine is still in existence, because we might need a different pickup tube and stuff too. So we gotta yank the whole motor back out.
Maybe that you said about that longer dipstick. Yeah, so we got serious problems here. Like I said, fundamentals of motor swaps. You make sure everything fits first before you put the accessories on. I wonder at what point did he realize that.
Probably when none of the bolts would go into the motor mounts.
I don't know. He started putting the exhaust manifolds on.
That's what holds the motor in anyway.
Oh, man. So, yeah. So we're going to have to talk to the owner on this one because the motor's got to move forward. And, oh, boy, look at those welds.
Yeehaw.
I don't think you were getting it quite hot enough there, buddy.
Yeehaw.
Oh.
Welds.
Oh, there's another missing bolt. Tell us if you see any other missing bolts. So that's what's going on here. You can't take a Jeep Laredo.
Laredo.
What size motor is this? 4.3 or something?
Some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's the little 8-cylinder. They should have never stopped making the 318. But you can't just take that Jeep and put it into a Dodge Dakota. I'm hoping it's just the oil pan. It looks like the exhaust manifold ports are the same. Let's go take a look at that. Ugh. It looks like this thing's going to be sitting dead in our driveway for a little bit. So this is the passenger side exhaust manifold for the Dodge Dakota. So the Jeep has a, here's the passenger side manifold for the Jeep Lardardo. As you can see, they are very, very different. Fake Jeep, Dodge Dakota. Not gonna work. And look, he even left us all 16 bolts that we need to put the exhaust manifolds back on. Yep. And we got one cross-drilled slotted rotor for good luck.
That's the higher performance stuff, right, dog?
Yeah, when you're only making left-hand turns, that's a NASCAR rotor right there. You put that on the driver's side. Stay tuned.
What are you doing?
Well, to sum it up, we're going to have to contact the owner of the truck because the motor's going to have to come back out of the truck. I know he thought he crossed a goal threshold there, and, well, he didn't. But we'll be able to get it done, I think, as long as he has the old motor. And basically, to summarize, I think the guy was like, yeah, it's the same motor, send it. And
then the owner said, oh, I'll send it to James and James.
So that sums that up. We've gone through the parts. We realized we don't have enough bolts. We're going to need to get some money to budget for parts. And we got a rough estimate of what needs to happen. So we have good exhaust manifold bolts. As far as we could tell, the intake manifold looks good. I might suggest that he gets an intake manifold gasket after we get it running. We'll see it and test it. If it seems fine, we'll probably just leave it. It's a beater truck, but air intake plenum gaskets leaking can cause a lot of issues. So it looks like all the plugs fit on the motor so far. We got the cam position sensors plugged in, crank position sensor, O2 sensors, everything seems to plug in.
And we'll be unplugging it to pull the motor back out.
Yeah, well, we tested. It was a dry run. And we didn't have to do the hard work for that part, at least. But, oh, man. Gotta feel bad. You know, I hopefully didn't pay him anything.
Gave him some chickens.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just kind of hope for the best here, but he needs a beater truck, and he's got a good motor. It's just going to have to get pulled out, have a good oil pan, the right size put on it to clear that differential tube, and hopefully he still has the old motor. So I'm going to get a hold of him, and we'll talk about it and see when we can go pick up the other motor. Outside of that, I guess it means that we'll make more money in labor, but, you know, I don't really want to have to pull the motor back out again. It was a job that was already done. Yeah.
And what are we saving up money for? That we're doing outside work again, even though we told ourselves we would never do this again.
This guy is a good customer.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
We're saving up to get a boring bar so we can start doing our own machine work. So, Van Norman,
or a Quick Way.
Or a Quick Way. So we're saving up for that. We have a 302 that needs punched out 40 over to accept those oversized pistons we got out of our 302. And then we have my Pontiac 455 needs to be punched out, and you know the possibilities are really endless when you can punch your own cylinders. So, and Pop's Vortec motor needs to be punched out. We have a D16A6 SI.
That's a Chevy motor. Chevy motors don't ever need no machine work done to them. I don't know what's wrong with you.
We got a Honda 4-cylinder motor that needs to be punched out. And, you know, the possibilities are endless. But basically, we'll spend a lot of money on a piece of equipment that could save us thousands of dollars down the road.
And we got other people that need machine work done. And once we get really good at it and I feel comfortable doing it for other people, we'll do it for some other people, because the machine shop rates have gone through the roof, and I understand to a certain point, but it's just gotten out of control.
Well, and if we can't do anything about prices at machine shops, it just drives people to buy things like boring bars or even CNC machines or whatever kind of old machinery they can get their hands on. So, lots of videos on boring bars.
If you know anybody that's like selling one, let us know. As long as you're within the Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Jersey area.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth traveling to Jersey now.
It depends on the price.
Go to Florida, but maybe not Jersey. Anyway, so that's it with the Dodge. We'll get back on to some other projects then, since this one will be sitting here for a while. We got mini bikes tore apart and scooters needing put back together and Ford heads that need worked over and motors prepped. But really hoping to just make the garage, get some money together so we can buy some more equipment. So. And if you like and subscribe and even comment, it could really help bring some views and maybe eventually monetary gain to the channel. So that would be cool. Much appreciated if you did that. We just got over 700 subscribers, and we're not even 2 years old yet. So at least you got new videos coming out all the time. So I think it's a good value. It's completely free to subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. Anyway, we'll see you next time. More stuff to come. Gotta start cracking on all these projects. We got too much stuff in the works, and we need to get some more vehicles back on the road. So, an update video. Did we ever finish the update video on the Civic?
We did the exhaust, and it did horribly.
Oh, nice.
Like nobody wants to see that.
No.
They just want to buy their eBay exhaust for $98. It's stainless steel.
$398. That's why we built our own. But the car's been running great. So it's got 2,000 miles on it. Fresh rings, starting to build more compression. Been testing it about 195 psi is the last compression check we had. The plugs are burning well. So things are going good in our vehicles for now.
Yeah, we don't like to put them together and then park them out in the field for 10 years until we need some more views on a video. We actually like drive our crap, which a lot of the smaller channels do, and we appreciate that.
I do miss driving my Le Mans and the truck. Anyway, we'll get that stuff started hopefully here soon. Till next time, James from All Hail Internal Combustion.
Like and subscribe or something.
It's free.
Yeah, it's totally free.